Hello and welcome to Q Sports. It's your one-stop shop for all things snooker, billiards, and all the interesting Q games. All right, my name is Emmanuel Dufejo, and I have here in the studio with me Mr. Joaquin Midada.
My pleasure, Sir Emmanuel.
Great, and also the handsome Solomon David.
Thank you so much. Pleasure being
All
here.
right, nice meeting you. It's always interesting to be on Q Sports. It's probably the foremost and maybe even only program on national TV in Nigeria where you get to hear all about Q Sports here locally in Nigeria. All right, we're going to go straight into a news update, and after that, we'll talk about upcoming events. Stay with us. This is still Q Sports, your one-stop shop for all things billiards, snooker, and pool here locally in Nigeria. All right, talking Q Sports in Nigeria. Like I said, it's not a very glamorous or popular sport in Nigeria, but I know that outside the shores of this country, it's a big deal. So, what do you think about Q Sports here in Nigeria?
Well, basically, the reason why it's like that is because we focus more on football, and a little bit of basketball and all that. So athletics and all that, but we focus more on football. So it's becoming a tradition where when we talk about sport, when you mention sport, the next thing people think about is just football. But pool, the cube sport, it's one sport that really, when you know how interesting it is, when you understand the interesting aspect of it, you just want to learn it, want to play. Now, why it's not that popular in Nigeria is because most people who are supposed to give attention to it have shifted, they're not really focusing on it, and they're not really taking it seriously. But when you give attention to it, right, just as we are doing now here, people begin to develop interest in
Stimulates
it.
interest
And
in the
of course,
sport.
they will, of course, the major sponsors are very key when it comes to sport like this. When they come in, invest in it, and the players will be able to, put themselves together and make something good out of it.
Well,
Thank you.
I think one critical challenge we have in this country is because the government believes that accepting a sport is an Olympic sport. It's not classified as a sport, and the government tends either to discourage it or tend not to want to pay attention to it. And once the government chooses not to pay attention to a sport, you find out that the media will follow suit. The corporate bodies who are supposed to sponsor will follow suit and all of that. But I remember in the 70s and the 80s, early 80s, pool, especially able pool, was very, very popular in Nigeria. Under every tree, in every corner.
Even going into the 90s.
Even going to the 90s. Almost, I remember when I was in uni, like in SUB, we had like 4 pool tables in the cafeteria in SUB, and you have a lot of
Same thing in classes.
a lot of students go there to go and play pool. But somehow the attitude of the society to pool, they tie Q sports to gambling. That's the first thing. They tie Q sports to gambling, and with that, we tend to discourage Q sports. And another challenge is because the attitude of the police in the 90s, yes, in the 90s and the late 80s, there was the issues where police will always go and raid wherever they see boys playing pool. They raid them and they begin to do all sorts of things to them, and slowly people were discouraged. And today, we hope that what we are doing to bring about the revival we are looking for.
Fantastic. All right, talking about government and leadership of sports in Nigeria, is there actually any Q Sports Association or Q Sports Federation, anything like that?
In Lagos State, there is. In Lagos State, there is a pool and billiards association.
Okay.
There's also what we call the Q Sports Association of Nigeria.
Okay.
Right? I think they are trying to affiliate themselves to the WPA, that is the World Pool and Billiards Association. Okay. So there are quite one or two associations, but the main association where that you have pool players coming under in Nigeria is still a boarding association. It's what we call the Q Sports Association, and that is the umbrella body where you will have billiards, pool, snooker.
Are they in any way affiliated with the General National Sports Federation?
No, for now, they are not. But you see, with what
so it's safe to say that pool is not recognized as a sport.
I won't want to use the word that pool is not recognized as a sport. One of the greatest challenges, look at all the sports that the government have recognized and have gotten involved in. Yeah. Almost all the sports, especially those that were even popular before they became federations. Okay. Those sports, all of a sudden, died. All of a sudden died. So, I don't know whether it's an advantage to have government recognition for a particular sport or not to have a government recognition for that sport. But for me, I think one way to go is to set up a federation or an association and affiliate the association to the world body. Because I know at the world body, at the world level, some of this is not like you must be an affiliate of the ministry for you to join the world body. Provided you have the numbers locally, I believe we can join the world WPA.
Fantastic. All right, viewers at home, we've been talking Q Sports and trying to analyze the development of the sports locally here in Nigeria, and it does look like it hasn't been going smoothly. Well, my question is, where can we get this right? So what's the next step from the Q Sports Association of Nigeria and to other maybe boarding sponsors? What do you think can be the general next step, towards establishing Q Sports in Nigeria? Like we talk about even the other sports, even the ones that are recognized federally. I mean, it doesn't still mean that they are enjoying that much benefit. I mean, how much of table tennis do we hear about? How much of badminton? How much of squash and all of those things? So, I mean, even those ones that have federations, they aren't doing any better. Okay, so question is, what can we do? How can we at least get started? Is it grassroots? Is it going from primary schools to secondary schools to universities? How can we stimulate interest, and then get the society, join the stream?
Making Q Sports colleges or building Q Sports along the educational structure. Yeah. That will be the responsibility of government, because it's government that controls schools. Okay. So there's no way, if you don't have the Ministry of Sports involved and the Ministry of Education involved, you cannot build any sports along the colleges structure. But one point I want to make is that there are 4 critical elements that is necessary for any sport to develop. The first element is that those who produce the equipment for that particular sport, those are the first critical stakeholders. Because once a sport becomes popular, they make sales. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, they make sales. Yeah. So those are the first critical
primary
stakeholder in it. The next critical stakeholder you have in this whole idea are those that I call them auxiliary, that this sport produces what I call auxiliary benefits. Okay. Q Sports, whether we like it or not, all the Q Sports are bar-based sports.
Okay.
That means that if you do not love going to the bar, or there are activities that take place in the bar, so because the activities that take place in the bar, whether you like it or not, those who run bars, those who own bars, benefit from the sports because they add what I call recreational value to the bar. Because ordinarily, when you hear a bar, everybody thinks, oh, this place is a bar. What do you do in a bar? You just go to the bar to drink.
Or eat.
But you see, it's not true that the only things you can do in the bar is drink. It's not true. You can recreate in the bar. And sports like pool, snooker, billiards, all of those sports add such recreational value to the bar. So the owners of the bar industry, they are stakeholders. The next group of people these Q sports give value to their business is the brewery industry. There is no way, I can bet you, there is no way that people go to the bar and they just go to the bar and sit down and walk away. So once people can get to the bar, once these sports can attract the volume to the bar, automatically it brings sales. So the brewery industry or the beverage industry can be classified as stakeholders. Sure. Another group that can be classified as stakeholders is who? The TV. Today, if you go to Nigerian television, all you see is what? Football.
Yeah.
But you see, we need to diversify the content structure of Nigerian television. It's not everybody that loves football. Some people love other sports.
Sure.
People like us that loves Q sports. We love to see some of these sports on television. So if these sports can bring content to television,
sure.
So what on television, so the TV, the media, they are what? They are also stakeholders. Sure. And finally, whenever you have big sports, it's an opportunity to make good money. So if you go on a global scale, one of the critical industries that drives some of these big professional and major sports is the betting and gaming industry. Because wherever you have top players playing, it gives you an opportunity to what? So to place your odds. Mm-hmm. So all these betting companies that we have in Nigeria, rather than offering the Nigerian betting community, rather than offering them only foreign content, okay, or foreign products like the EPL, and rather than offering only those products, then you can also sponsor, invest in developing these major sports, pool, snooker, and billiard, into major sports, such that you can offer them as betting content where people can place their odds. So these industries, if they understand the role they play, in not only in the Q sports, but even in other sports, because if you remove the betting industry from football, even in UK, it will collapse. So if this interplay that needs to be put in place for us to get, those are the things. And because this group of people actually form what I call the sponsors pool. They are the sponsors pool that can drive the development of Q sports that we are talking about. Along the age group and everything, those areas and the educational system is the business of government.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Joachim. Solomon David, do you have anything to add? Do you think that, do we even have the drive, the knowledge and the skill, for Q sports in Nigeria? Like you said earlier, it used to be a big sport. I mean, I played snooker basically, growing up, say 99, 2000, thereabouts to 2001. So do you think we have, the raw materials, to be able to thrive for Q sports in Nigeria?
And trust you see, I was going to buttress his speech when he talked about, how that for this particular sport to be well recognized, there has to be government involvement, and of course, he was talking about the Ministry of Education, and of course, he was talking about the sport ministry and all that, how they would allow the school to integrate Cube Sport into their system and all that. Now, I began to play shoot pool. That was 1997 or thereabout. So I didn't really take interest in it, but I was always going there. When I the first time I picked up a cube stick and I played, my God, I wanted to play. Right? It was that interesting. I love music so much, but the next thing I love again is shoot pool. Talking about, most people love football, but I love shoot pool the more. Reason is that I can play it at any time and at any age. When you talk about football, there's age limit. You can't be 50 and say you want to play for,
it's one of those sports you can play.
Manchester, you can play it at any time. So now you see when there are so many players, those who can play shoot pool very well at any level. In fact, while growing up, there were some guys that when they played, some of them have not gone to, of course, in their secondary school and all that. When they hold the stick and start playing, you would think they've been trained. You think they had formal training. So what means is that what I'm trying to say is that we have
natural talent.
We have natural talents. When we go to the inner cities, go to look at cranes or in Nigeria, even in the north, southwest, everywhere we have players. All we just need to do get government involvement, and the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Sport, get them to begin to see the relevance of this game, and by then I'm sure we'll definitely, of course, the media. He talked about media. Media too has vital role to play in this by giving it adequate recognition and of course attention. I'm sure definitely will definitely get the best out of this game.
We'll definitely get the best out of this game. Thank you, Solomon David. All right, we're still on Q Sports, and next up is Facts File and then Players Profile. Guess who we'll be looking at today? Ronnie Sullivan, probably the biggest player. I think he's been at the top of his game for maybe a decade now, or thereabouts.
But you see, before we even get to that, I want to mention something that most Q sports, if you want to understand physics, especially momentum, the whole idea of momentum, where the principles of motion, all of that, there is no other way that you can illustrate it than pool.
Yeah.
A rolling ball, first principle of momentum.
Because I remember how you want to hit a ball, you need to be careful.
The force, you have to
understand force. How well you hit it, from which angle do you hit it.
All those Newton laws, all those Newton laws.
I enjoy the hand-eye coordination that you need to have. There's also a sort of thought process that needs to go on in your head.
It is that whole Newton, the whole idea, how I used to understand Newton law is on the pool table.
Fantastic.
I'm telling you, because it's on the pool table.
Because you have to sit there and calculate and of course,
exactly.
Just ensure that you have to bring up your intelligence when it comes to playing the pool. It's very important.
All right. Facts File, Players Profile, Ronnie Sullivan. Enjoy this.